Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about South of Midslop. This game shouldn't exist at all, but Microsoft and their delusional say the game is a gem. Which is laughable and really ironic considering they got rid of Hi-Fi Rush developers that had the most positive reception in the public, even on Steam and Xbox. But hey, you want to see this slop, so let's start this video.
So everybody's favorite studio, Sweet Baby Inc. has delivered us gamers with a brand new experience featuring the stunning and brave Shatisha Nikwa, I mean Hazel, who most certainly is not a self-insert of Kim Belair or anything like that.
What the hell?
I want people to know that woman is extremely unstable and it should not be working anywhere near the game industry, because yelling at everyone is a good idea and not have any consequences at all, and the people who work under her are guilty as well. Why? Because one, the people that work under her game over her bother because he was being falsely accused and she helped for his game over.
Oh.
So why would I support actual criminal that never face in jail time? Sorry, not sorry.
Full article breaking down how South of Midnight is not just going to be a flop, but completely fall flat on its face.
Yes, definitely!
South of Midnight, Microsoft's latest so-called gem.
That never gets old. Calling a trash game a gem is so delusional. That's how you know a company is really out of touch and really need to take a reality check, because majority of the games that Sweet Baby Inc. is involving either not successful at all or result in a close down in the studio. Thankfully, Sony finally waking up and kicking these people out, and now we're waiting until Microsoft kick them out.
Well, we're waiting.
Then after that, we get to control Hazel, and in her house, we literally get to see that she's a biracial queen who has been corrupted with the evil white man blood and shit, as we check out a photo of Hazel's younger self with her white dad.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Which I feel like the only reason they even made her dad white in the first place was because it'd be a little bit stereotypical and racist to have her dad be the stereotypical black man who left to go get milk and never came back. Which, yeah, you're probably also asking or wondering to yourself, this woman here, this stunning and brave queen, doesn't look, very mixed.
That's true.
Originally, before Sweet Baby became involved, Hazel was going to be a redhead white wham.
You see what I mean?
Now do you guys see the problem? Because usually you'll notice the traits of the father or the mother very easily, but here she is none that, because if you take some DNA class Microsoft and the developer, the male genes are always stronger, so that means the girl should have some level of mix in her, right? This is like explaining this to a toddler. This how they lose money, whatever. Let keep going.
First off, despite being released in early access, the game has already flopped harder than anybody could have ever expected. And that's South of Midnight is yet another entry on the growing list of titles prioritizing ideology over entertainment. And this doesn't even take into account their extremely racist community manager known as Chulita, who I have talked about in the past.
Wow. And what do I say? They hire people who are horrible, lol. This keep get worse.
As you're investigating your house, you also see your stitched together ugly as fuck doll, which will become important later.
I asked Mama for a doll and got this thing instead. I know he's weird looking, but I can't help but love him.
The fuck?
Lady, have some standards, because that are indicator that your mother don't love you, and that not being sarcasm. Usually you shouldn't joke about this, but it's true. If you give someone an ugly doll like that's an indicator that your parents, so explains a lot about the developers who have some parent issues.
Katie, aka Chulita, does not like white people playing games and has said so many different times. In fact, she was even quoted in an interview saying white male gamers were a mistake, and she's not the biggest fan of gamers in general.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
I find it very ironic, because you hate gamers but want to sell games, then call us white and Asian people adjacent. Do anyone find this disrespectful?
Hell to the yeah.
And now you asking for money for being a horrible to games in general. Yeah, that not going to happen. Even if it on Game Pass, I'm still not going to touch. So yeah, nice try.
For all the people also claiming this game has a good art style, I highly disagree. I genuinely hate this shitty ass Enter the Enwa Man, Enter the Spider-Verse bullshit character designs and this choppy ass frame rate. Like, who the fuck ever asked or wanted to play a game in stop motion?
Damn.
Well, to be honest with you, Chief, I never wanted this game to come out just like Fable. People will say she look better.
Nope.
Even though she hit the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down, now the stop motion is good for video, such as YouTube or video, but games know it's very blurry and it will come out as poor quality.
South of Midnight is another banger for Xbox. The excitement and pre-orders are off the charts. So many people playing early access on Steam.
With you? What do you mean? You sound like a fucking retard.
Can we stop the delusional people from making any views? Because it's pretty obvious the game a failure, because I'm checking on Xbox right now, people who saying positivity on the game is getting ratio, and now if goes on Game Pass, people are going to give it a huge negative rating. It goes to show you fake positivity doesn't work at all.
Eventually get to your racist grandma's house, and a literal ghoul from the Fallout games opens the door.
Excuse me, you can't just show up unannounced.
My eyes! My eyes!
Is that supposed to be a lady? She looked like she got hit with a frying pan, and be frankly honest, I'm not even sure this is even a girl or a monster, and not try to be funny, but if I have to look at this when I'm playing a game, that will make me refund immediately. I'm sorry, but I just can't handle ugly females anymore, and video games or slugs, whatever you want to call them.
But how this game is supposedly going to be a Game Pass game, and that's an incentive to pay for Microsoft Game Pass. When I look at this and I'm like, no, if anything, this is an incentive not to get Game Pass. And
that is true.
Many video games are a product of the times they were created in. As we look to recreate and remaster these stories for the modern audiences,
That's a little sad.
It's important to reconsider the implications of these harmful portrayals and do our part to rewrite new history.
The answer is hell no.
Yeah, and that's why I'm highly against them, because what they are trying to do is change history, which there are consequences for that, and to be honest, nobody really cares what you think. South of Midslop developers, you can't not change history, whether you like it or not. It's going to happen regardless.
Viral video by Hub Bander on X flat out exposed yet another writer at Sweet Baby Inc. for being a complete ideological nightmare.
All right.
When you listen to this person.
I would definitely like to see more queer characters of color.
What?
Not just, just a white queer character.
Heard enough.
Lady, you sound delusional as hell. Who let you out in a mental asylum? That my question, because it seems like they're not doing a good job. And other thing, what the problem with white peoples in general? You were raised by your mother and father, he probably was white, and now you hate him for being a good dad. These people need a reality check, because if you hate white so bad, then leave the country.
I would like to see more people that look like me. I think audiences have a very vocal minority of people who are very much against inclusion of anything that's not.
It's amazing. You are 100% wrong.
Enough with this BS talk. I'm really getting tired of these types of people saying nobody what different people of color. We had that until you came along. There were many black characters in video games, so you try to lie, and it's easy to call you out. This how you know people like this don't do their homework on video games.
As we said, like a cis straight white man, but our existences aren't political, they just are.
Get out right now!
And I think that more and more people are expecting to see that kind of representation, and also expecting it to get broader as time goes on.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Lady, have a grip on reality, because nobody's buying this whatsoever. You already lost to Marvel Rivals, a free-to-play game. To add insult towards you, most game are surpassing your game like she knows their cook. They know nobody is playing their slop game, and happy Microsoft is losing money because this will make them wake up and not hire these people. In conclusion, this person have no clue on making video games. Their political beliefs are the definition of why games failed. This company really need to take a step back and really think that I want to hire these people to lose a ton of money. Their answer is yes, but anyway, guy, hope you have a safe day.